Hi everyone, review time again, or it was more of an overview. This was actually a request a little while ago from Goes 1128, so I do apologise for the time it put me to get this together. I was hoping to sort of get to the end of this book. It's the Forever Flawless book by Napoleon Perdis, and I'll put a link to both of those videos below. But I thought it's going to take me so long to sort of get through it because I've been trying some of the looks and everything. I thought I'll just do a general overview and show you some pictures. I don't want to infringe too much on any publishing sort of rights, so I won't go too much into detail and showing stuff, but I'll just go over the book and sort of thoughts and feelings, as well as some other beauty reads that I like or are on my wish lists. So definitely check out Goes 1128 channel if you haven't already. I'll put a link to her channel below. So I'll get straight to it. I mean, I do know that the image is on reverse image, so I'll try and take some better pictures and put them at the end. I'll also quickly apologise. You'll probably hear airplanes going over it as well. I seem to be wanting to do that every time I do a video. Never mind. But so this is the book here, Forever Flawless. I picked this one up at Target. I think I paid about, it was on special, $26 or so, $28. I think the retail price there was under $30 anyway. That's at least in Target stores in Australia, and that's most of them. I know some people have mentioned that it's not in all stores around Australia you can get the NP range, but I mean, I have seen a lot of websites that sell the book as well as obviously the products. But with this one, it's a fairly good read. It's over 200 pages long. It goes over tips and tricks of obviously applying makeup, contouring, highlighting, lips. So basically it goes through all over that, as well as different looks you can do. Just flick through to some of my favourite ones. You can do a really glammed up sort of night look if you want. There's also something like a purple. I love purple eyes. You haven't noticed, so that's one sort of there. You can go from daytime to playtime, as it's as noted there. You also get to learn a little bit about Napoleon at the beginning. I'll just flick to a quick photo of him and his family, which is there. And he does go on and mention some of the lip products are actually based, or their names are based on his children, which I think is really, really sweet. So he seems like a relatively nice makeup guru and artist. He's been doing it for many years and he's built up his business. So it started off in Sydney, Australia, for those that may not know. And I do not have a lot of NP products. I'm slowly starting to try some of the ranges there. And again, for those of you in Australia, there are, like I said, at most Target stores should stock the NP range. Again, not at all Target stores that have been pointed out, but there are more and more stands opening up around different malls in Australia, I've noticed as well. But he also does spend a little bit of time going through all the tools and brushes in his actual range. So a lot of the makeup that is mentioned in here is basically his own makeup, which is obviously all fair and well and good. So it is quite good if you want to sort of get an overview of some of the NP brushes. Goes over the different types and what they're good for in there. Of course, you can also go to this website as well. I'll put a link to that below. It's also got a Makeup Academy. And I'm pretty sure that Amy Sass 7, another Australian YouTuber with an absolutely fantastic channel, she did, I think, her studies there as well with NP, so I'll put a link to her channel below as well. It's really good. But it does go over different spots on the face as well. And like I said, goes in quite detail on the different products that he has, like lip products, different face products, concealers and primers as well, to give you a different idea, as well as different skin types, like oily, combination skin goes over that as well. So it's a lot of useful information. I also like, he's basically got how to look your best at every age, and he does actually go over that. So he goes over looks for very youthful skin, as well as looks for relatively mature skin as well. So what's sort of the good for what he's got, senior beauty. So they're in the way, and I like a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them have sort of before and after pics, which I actually find quite useful as well. So overall, it is a relatively good read. Again, it is based around a lot of the NP products. So I mean, if you're really getting into the NP or really looking to getting NP, it is a good book for that, to sort of learn tips and tricks for basic stuff like learning contouring and highlighting. It's also good. I mean, there's lots of books on the market, obviously, that go over that, maybe in a little bit more detail as well. You can also obviously watch YouTube channels and other sites as well to do all that same stuff, so you don't have to fork out and buy the book. But it's worth something. Like, I just wanted to read it. It's on my little makeup shelf as well, and I got it signed when I was at the event that I've linked below as well by NP, so I thought it was kind of cool, but that's just me. But I do like it. I like the fact it's got big glossy pictures in there. It's all relatively simple language. It's nothing relatively detailed, but it is relatively good as well. Goes through basically step by step how to apply and everything. But like I said again, you can get definitely a lot more detailed books out there. But this isn't something that's going to make you become a makeup artist. Obviously, offers courses. There's courses and diplomas and certificates out there, apart from EMP as well. But definitely a good starter sort of thing to read. I mean, even just to go into your local Target store if it's stocked there and just have a flick through to see if it's something that you'd want to pay money for. But I mean, I know a lot of websites also stock it for about $40 to $45, but you can get it in Target for under $30 in Australia. So it's worth maybe having a look in the Target stores. Now, my favourite sort of beauty magazine I'll just quickly mention is Bella Beauty Magazine, and obviously it's within Australia. I mean, I love reading Cosmo and all the Cleo and Mary Claire, all those other books out there on the market, magazines and Shop Teardrop, etc., etc. But this one I like particularly just as a beauty magazine, so it goes over all different products. This, the latest one I think is issue 19, July to September. Yep, so it comes out quarterly and it's $5.95 Australian dollars. It's cheaper if you do get the subscription. You're only paying about $5. You get $5 per magazine and it's free shipping within Australia, so it's probably worth subscribing to it if you so wish to. And they also have incentives every now and again for gifts if you sign up for the subscription. So it's $20 for a year and $40 for every 2 years. But again, I'm not promoting this, it's just something that I like to read. I love it for the fact that it sort of contrasts very sort of cheaper brands. I mean, I still love how it does this. Some magazines don't, but it's got something like BYS, which is an Australian brand, quite similar to NYX. Eyeshadow about $2, $2.95, next to a MAC sort of pigment, which is in the $30 range. That's a bit of a contrast. Another range, DB brands as well. They range from about a couple of dollars up to about $7 or around about there, and it's contrasting it next to other products like the MP, obviously Australian of course, and international now, Go MP, and Shuyumera. I can never pronounce that correctly, but that's something that's about $39 next to something that are only a couple of dollars. So I quite like that. I like the fact that it has a good contrast. A lot of it too, it doesn't go too in-depth in beauty reviews and stuff in the actual magazine itself, so it is quite overrun with glossy ads and stuff like that, obviously promoting beauty therapy places, etc., etc. And so it's a beauty magazine, but a lot of it you can actually read online. I think it's bellamedia.com, but I'll put a link below to that so you can get more in-depth stuff on there if you so wish. And it's just good to flick through. But I also like the fact, I know Amy Sass 7 did a webisode which is absolutely great. I'll put a link to that below, going over about, she's got a great, fantastic channel. Another fellow Aussie, she did stuff about the airbrushing in magazines, and yeah, I do find that quite frustrating as well, because if you're sort of looking at some products, how much of it is real and how much of it has been applied through the computer or airbrushed out and blah blah blah. But I do admit, as many as airbrush ads as it does obviously have in here, it also has a lot that aren't. They actually people with natural wrinkles under the eyes. It even has in this particular copy, oops, it even has a couple of the models actually has full-on blemishes, and they're proper blemishes, and then you can actually see them in detail. And I was like, oh my gosh, something I don't normally see in a lot of the other magazines, definitely not in a lot of the other magazines. So that quite impressed me. So that's just something a little bit random there. And last but not least, on my beauty read wish list is the book Don't Go to Cosmetics Counter Without Me by Paula Begoun. I think it's the 8th edition now, because I've been drooling over it in the bookstores. It's about a 1,100 page reference book of all the different types of, well, not all the different types, but a lot of the major brands, international major brands of makeup. So it sort of gives the goods and bads about them, as well as the product. I mean, it doesn't just do brands like Estee Lauder or MAC, it does the lower end brands like NYX as well. Of course, for those of us in Australia, it doesn't do the Australian brands like Australis and BYS, or etc., etc. But it does give a lot of the obviously international big name brands as well, from high to low end. And like I said, it's a 1,100 page read. It's got lots of different stuff in there. So I've sort of been considering whether to get it. It's the 8th edition now, which I think ranges between about $30 to $40. I'll put a link to her website as well. She's commonly known as the Cosmetic Cop. She's done about 18 books as well. So I'm sort of edging on whether to get that or not. I'm not sure. A lot of it, of course, I can just see in reviews on YouTube. that's what it's here for, as well as on beauty websites. So I don't know if anyone's read it or anyone's got it, leave me some feedback below. I'd really appreciate that. So otherwise, if I do pick it up, of course I'll do a bit of an overview on it as well and let you know. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and take care.